and gentlemen, are you ready for some football? Because I sure am. I'm Cobra, and I am joined by a very eclectic crew today. I am joined by Kat, Ben, Keith, and Ryan. Say hello, guys.
Hello.
Hello.
I would also
Guys.
like to make a special dedication. Rest in peace, Greg Gumbel. He was one of the best out there.
Exactly. Rest in peace to one of the greats, Greg Gumbel, a wonderful broadcaster. If you watch CBS, he was part of my childhood. So Greg Gumbel, rest in peace.
He called some great Super Bowls for the Patriots wins.
Don't remind me. Anywho, like I said, welcome to the hard count. We have some very wonderful Christmas presents for us all. And of course, the new year will be upon us. But before we get started, I wanted to address something a little bit. So anywho, Ben, if you could mute your mic for a minute. Respect. Okay. So everyone knows that we here on the Social Sports Pad Network and the Hard Count, Discus Penalties, Dirt and Turf, the lap down, wherever, that you listen to us, that you listen to we spat out an affiliate link to Tell Us to Support the channel. I would like to remind you that we are people of integrity and will never want to steer you wrong. Which makes me glad that I never endorsed Honey in the first place. So again, we endorse affiliate links that we enjoy, we love to use, and we would never want to steer you wrong. So I just wanted to give that public service announcement to our listeners, to our fans, and to future listeners that we here at the Social Sports Pad Network believe in brand integrity. That includes us here, and that includes the products that we endorse. So thank you for your time. Thank you. All right, back to the show.
Isn't that coming off of a week where Fanatics had a bunch of issues with their jerseys that they sent out over the holidays?
Oh yeah, because my mom happened to be a victim, but unfortunately Fanatics is the only brand in town to get official gear, unfortunately. Welcome to Monopoly.
I just figured I'd mention that because you were talking about the brand integrity and stuff.
I understand that, and again, I have to address that we unfortunately use Fanatics because, hey, they're the place you can get official gear. So,
Right.
All right. So, since we are on the round table, ladies and gentlemen, we need to welcome some names into the pile of bodies. Obviously, we referenced the Giants, the Panthers, the Patriots, the Jacksonville Jaguars, the Tennessee Titans, and the Las Vegas Raiders. But some more names have been added to the pile. We, of course, have the forever a plane crash New York Jets. We have the Arizona Cardinals, the Dallas Cowboys, the San Francisco 49ers, and the New Orleans Saints, and the Bears. The Bears. So,
yeah,
that's not surprising to me that having the Chicago Bears be on that list. But anyway, guys,
Chicago Bears are getting ready for their own Super Bowl here in a couple of days when they go and play Green Bay.
Which is true, but anywho, I kind of want to, of these teams that I did mention, what team is the biggest surprise not making the playoffs this year? And before I start on asking that question, let me spin who's going to ask that question. And we're going to start with no, Billy's not here. He's not here. Tyler's not here. This is already starting off so swimmingly. You know what? All right. So
why don't you remove the names of the people who aren't here off the list?
Well, because I ran out of time. So we're going to start with Ben, Keith, Kat, Ryan and myself, go ahead. Ben, you can unmute now.
He might be busy.
He might be busy. So, audible to Keith.
Go ahead.
What team's the biggest surprise to you that is not making the playoffs?
What was that list again?
The Jets, the Jets, Raiders, Browns, Jaguars, Titans, Patriots, Cowboys, Cardinals, 49ers, Saints, Panthers, Bears, Giants.
Actually, I was kind of. The Saints was kind of like on the fence. I thought they might have had a chance to go to the playoffs, but they were like teetering right there on the fence most of the time.
Also, considering the fact that they are in the NFC South, which is the weakest division in football, in my opinion, and also they actually got off to a very red hot start, and it was like as soon as they got to the Eagles, they immediately cooled down, and it was all downhill from there. They fell apart like a graham cracker in milk. All right.
Imploded real good.
Yes. Kat.
This team was not a surprise for a lot of people, okay? But this team for me, ever since I started following football at all, this team was so typically in the top 3 of anybody's, list of who's going to make it to the playoffs. That the fact that they are 3-13 is painful. I'm not even a fan of this team. But I'm going to say the Patriots not making it was a really big shock to me. And like I said, it's not a big shock for a lot of other people.
Considering that the Patriots are actually in the middle of a rebuild, I'm actually not surprised, to tell the truth.
Right, but that's what I'm saying. A lot of people
is bright for Drake May. And then
say that one more time. Sorry.
I said the future is bright for Drake May, the quarterback of the future, and then he gets a concussion today. So that's fun.
Oh, did he?
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah, he entered the blue tent today. We'll get to that. All right, Ryan.
All right. Well, I pretty much have 2 teams that I'm gonna go ahead and put on here.
Just pick one. Just pick one.
Because based on preseason expectations, I think the Jets absolutely have to get a mention here because they were on one of the biggest upturns from the previous 2 seasons, and the previous 2 seasons they both went 10-7 or 7-10. I mean,
yep.
And they were right there to potentially make the playoffs with just a small improvement to the Zach Wilson version of the team. So getting Aaron Rodgers should have been a big uptick, but it was no surprise early on.
Yeah. Unfortunately, one of the biggest problems was Aaron Rodgers' ego kept writing the check, and it proved to be the Jets. And it proved to be a check that the Jets absolutely could not cash in this season. It cost Robert Saleh his head coaching job, but it's not his fault. He shouldn't have been fired. If you noticed, Robert Saleh immediately gets fired. When he gets fired, the Jets defense got worse.
Yeah, but again, you can't ride just having a good defense enough to have a head coaching job. You have to be able to improve an offense if you're going to be the head coach.
But how do they get worse with Aaron Rodgers? That's a question.
Well, clearly, and we saw this with Kirk Cousins too. clearly an Achilles injury is a very significant injury to a quarterback, especially a
Anybody.
quarterback who is pushing forward.
Going to the Vikings.
What?
He said he was saying Aaron Rodgers is going to the Vikings, which he is not.
Aaron
There's
Rodgers
no way.
is going to the Vikings. It's Brett
There's-
Favre 2.0. We
There's
know it's
zero
going to
reason
happen.
why Aaron Rodgers would go to the Vikings, and there's zero reason why the Vikings would want Aaron Rodgers at this point.
Super Bowl pedigree, because we unfortunately know they're not going far with Sam Darnold. All right.
And I say they look a lot better with Sam Darnold than they would with Rodgers.
But we have seen knee-jerk reactions before. Ben, are you able to join the conversation? Because we know you're here. Ben,
Is he?
he's here, but he's
Can I throw
on
another
mute.
name out?
Ben. What the hell? He's like, mute, unmute. Like, what'd I do?
My app was giving me trouble earlier. I had to sign out and come back in.
That happens to me a couple times. Ben might have to do that.
Yeah.
Anywho, if you don't mind, Ben, we might as well just skip you, if you don't mind. And we're gonna go right to the other part of the roundtable discussion, and that is the MVP voting. The MVP race, I should say, because we have 5 names on that list.
There's actually only one that matters, but
There's
go
two.
ahead.
There's two names
There's
on
two.
the list.
There's two.
Go ahead with your 5 and we'll discuss.
So we have Josh Allen of the Buffalo Bills. We have Saquon Barkley of the Philadelphia Eagles. We have Lamar Jackson of the Baltimore Ravens.
Yes,
we have
do.
Jared Goff of the Detroit Lions. And we have Patrick Mahomes of the NFL refs. What? I did not just say that. I did not just say that.
I forgot
I
about
meant to say,
Mahomes
and I meant to say Kansas City refs. What?
Yeah.
Why can't I say Chiefs? It's always coming out Kansas City refs. What? It must be a glitch in the system. I must be. Okay. All right. So, of these 5, which one do you think is going to land the MVP? Same order, unless Ben craps out. Then we'll start with Keith. So yeah, let's start with Keith.
Saquon Barkley.
Eagles bias right there.
Hey, he is the reason why they're where they're at right now. He's 100%. You know,
I do tend
and
to disagree a little bit.
yes, the Hurts was in there too, but you know, it's a combination between Hurts and the Saquon Barkley. And if you look at the majority of their points came from Saquon Barkley.
Right. Okay. So Kat.
Do we really have to ask this question? Like, really?
Yes, we do.
I honestly believe that Lamar deserves this. People were saying last year that he didn't deserve it, blah, 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 blah.
The Ravens' schedule is so paper.
No, it isn't.
Hey, look,
they had to play
the
AFC North
Giants.
twice.
Giants.
In the past 10 days, we had
the
100
Giants,
points.
the Cleveland Brown Stains, the
We
Cincinnati Bungles.
We scored 100 points in 10 days.
Steelers.
Who else can score 100 points in 10 days? Certainly not the Steelers, who we faced in that time frame and scored twice as many points.
To be fair, Kat, when it comes to the Giants, we could put you at quarterback and you could put up 3 or 4 touchdowns at 500 yards.
I doubt that very seriously. I can't throw a football.
But you could probably do better than what they had.
Probably.
Yeah, you definitely do better than Tommy Cutlets and Daniel Jones.
But
So-
what I don't understand is how people can watch Lamar. I mean, Lamar was running at 21.5 miles an hour.
Because he's a running back.
And just kind of jogging past the defenders who were
running back who can somehow throw a football.
And he can throw that football pretty well. He was thrown into triple coverage in the last game.
He's still a glorified running back.
Yep, that's what isn't that what I've been saying the entire time, Jason?
Can you even win a football game?
The chat.
Can we win football games without good running backs? No. Can we win football games without good quarterbacks?
You guys have Derrick Henry.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do.
Back too.
Okay.
Not just Lamar Jackson.
So maybe Lamar and Derrick Henry should both be on that list then. Huh? How about that?
But was beat out by Roger Goodell's personal fuckboy, Patrick Kermit Frog Mahomes. So,
in my opinion, the person who needs to win the MVP award, who won't win the MVP award. So my first pick is Saquon Barkley, who should be the one that wins the MVP award. But we all know it's not going to be a running back; it's going to be a quarterback. So the quarterback I'm choosing is going to be Josh Allen, hands down.
Yep. All right.
Josh Allen. The only reason Josh Allen would win it this year is because Lamar won it last year, and they want to give the people what they want. So if Josh Allen wins it's not going to be because he deserves it more. It's going to be because they kowtowed to public opinion.
He has nobody else around him other than his tight ends. He lost Diggs.
Oh wait,
he doesn't have. I mean, he has a what? Isn't it a rookie wide receiver? I mean, was it Coleman or whatever his name?
Let's see. I'll break this down. Break this down in a minute. With my pick as well, Ben. But we'll get to it. Ryan,
I just feel like he's just doing a lot more.
Yeah,
with a lot
Ryan,
less.
Are you ready to chime in? Now Ryan's glitching up. Oh boy.
I think it's the app.
Yeah, but it's Discord. Discord does this to all of us. Did it to me too.
I'm looking for this delivery of this hotel.
Hey, Ryan, are you ready to chime in?
You guys got me?
Yeah, we got you. You ready to chime in?
Right. So, honestly, I think regardless of which of the two quarterbacks gets it, because we all know it is going to go to one of the quarterbacks, I don't really have a problem
there's
with
technically 4 on the list. 1 is undeserving, and 3 pretty much.
Okay, Jared Goff should not be on there. Patrick Mahomes should not be on there.
Yes, you're
Neither
right.
one of those two should be on the list. I think.
Yes.
I don't know why Mahomes is on the list. Come on.
Because he's Roger Goodell's fuckboy.
Of course.
Like I said, we all know why he's on the list.
Yeah, regardless, he shouldn't be on the list. But between the two quarterbacks who have actually put up MVP-style stats, I honestly wouldn't be upset with either one of them getting it. I think
absolutely not. Absolutely not.
I think the edge would go to Josh because, one, there is a real thing of voter fatigue. I mean, look at the fact that Tom Brady only won, 2 MVPs his entire career, despite being easily one of the most valuable players his entire career.
Right.
Correct.
So the fact that Lamar has already won 2 of them, and they were both fairly recently, including last year, I think the voter fatigue will help Josh Allen, especially because I think he was the deserving guy last year and got snubbed by Lamar. I think it's his year to get it. And again, I think his stats are right there with Lamar's. And the fact that he doesn't have a Derrick Henry level running back to help carry that team.
Even
though
James Cook is a good running back.
Yeah, and James Cook is a good running back, but he isn't a world eater running back like Derrick Henry. I mean, Derrick Henry, we saw it in Tennessee.
Derrick Henry destroyed a man's career.
Derrick Henry was able to
with a stiff arm.
Live on TV.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, we saw for years Derrick Henry was able to carry the Tennessee Titans with nobody around him. Correct. So the fact that you have him there.
But see, I think it kind of also takes away a little bit from someone like Lamar, who tries to make sure that his guys get into the end zone. If he has a receiver that's, 50 yards down the field and they're able to get into the end zone, why is it such a bad thing that Lamar can get them the ball so that they score? Why is it such a bad thing that Lamar can do a handoff and give the ball to the people who are going to score the touchdown? Like, you're basically saying that Lamar doesn't deserve it because he's able to get the ball to guys who can score.
I'm saying that he and Josh have very similar stats. I mean, because I will say, and this is a complaint I have with the NFL, the way they promoted it, because they decided to wait till after the Ravens game to put up the stats of a head-to-head, and it's like Lamar had a full extra game of stats. Now, do I think that he would have still an edge? Yeah, he's probably going to end up with somewhere between 50 to 75 extra passing yards over Allen at the end of it. But when you're at that high of a passing yard level, it's basically the exact same level. Very similar. They're within 2 or 3 touchdowns of each other.
Now, and Ryan, sorry to interrupt. We're kind of have to wrap this up. And finish up the roundtable a little bit. But I'm going to say that, yes, you are right that both Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen are well deserving of the MVP. I have to give the slight edge to Josh Allen primarily because of strength of schedule. The Ravens have had a weaker schedule than the Bills. Also, the Ravens have a more stacked offensive roster. As you just said, Derrick Henry is an eater of worlds. Zay Flowers, you have great tight ends. Not saying that Josh Allen doesn't have good tight ends with Dalton Kincaid, but the receiving core around Josh Allen isn't really, let's just say elite caliber. They're great caliber, not elite. Curtis Samuel, Mac Hollins, Keon Coleman, who is a rookie, Khalil Shakir, who is the only carryover from last year's receiving core, and the addition of Amari Cooper as a true number 1, despite his declining ability. Amari Cooper is still number 1, but Josh Allen in the early days before that was pretty much carrying that team. And without Josh Allen, the Bills don't get this far.
Honestly, I would argue the same thing about Lamar. I really would. Because if we put Joe Flacco in Lamar's position again, the whole entire Ravens offense falls apart. Flacco
not necessarily. I mean,
but
Joe
Flacco lost his spot with the Ravens for a reason. Lamar Jackson just passed Michael Vick for the most rushing yards with 6,100 or some ridiculous number.
Yeah, and the only thing he doesn't have of Michael Vick is a arrest conviction for dogfighting.
Which Vic also served time for, and as a fellow Hokie, I have to point out that there is no way in hell Frank Beamer allowed dogfighting while Vic was playing at Virginia Tech.
Correct. Right. But unfortunately, despite all our wishes and what we want, unfortunately, we know that the Ginger Hammer, Roger Goodell, is going to get his fuckboy, Patrick Mahomes, not only another MVP, but probably a Super Bowl MVP too, because that's how they.
I don't think Mahomes gets the MVP.
I don't think Mahomes gets the MVP. There's not enough conversation that involves him. There really isn't.
If it happens, I'm owed an apology. But other than that, I hope it doesn't happen. I hope that it comes down to, the top 3 being Lamar Jackson, Saquon Barkley, and Josh Allen.
I think Saquon Barkley is the 3rd on that list.
Hate to say it. So that is it for.
But I think they ain't going to even make it to the Super Bowl this year. because the Arizona or Mahomes is not really worth it this year.
No.
He
Well,
has got some.
But refs can bail him out in a game or two. And all he
No.
needs to do is win, 2 games, and he's in the Super Bowl?
Yeah. All
Find
right.
Alex was still warming up, we're
Okay,
supposed to
guys,
do
we got to wrap up the round table.
it.
We got to wrap up the round table. We got to get two more in the podcast. That is once again, that is it for the round table, which was brought to you by Sleeves. Sleeves.com. Just because Christmas is over doesn't mean that the holiday savings are over. So, but because Sleeves still has your hookup for up to 80% off, their holiday sale is still going on. So, grab yourself some tights, grab yourself some arm sleeves for your little one, because football season is still going on, as well as baseball season is just about to begin. Don't forget to protect yourself from Corona Chan, because they have attractive. They also have gaiters and face masks. Don't forget sleeveless hoodie. Don't forget sleeveless hoodies, balaclavas, socks, receiver gloves, all other things. But please use our affiliate link in the bio wherever you get your podcasts and show the channel some love. That's Sleeves, SLEEFS.com.
I almost got robbed.
Crap.
Not really, but it was some homeless guy asked for 5 for 5 once. I was like, yeah, I'm not doing that.
Yeah. All right. And we just had our first spin, our roundtable spin. We have a winner. Ryan, congratulations. You've won a bonus spin.
Oh.
All right. So now we have to get to the games last week, week 16's recap.
Yes.
And of course, the games that happened during Christmas and are currently happening now. So let us start.
Yes, let's do that.
Let's start from the Sunday night. We had the Atlanta Falcons defeat the New York Giants in Michael Penix Jr.'s debut. What was that? Ryan, what was that? Seriously.
Like we got put in a pocket.
Yeah, Ryan, please. Ow. Once again, the Atlanta Falcons defeated the New York Giants in Michael Penix Jr.'s debut, 34-7. The Detroit Lions mauled and ripped apart the Chicago Bears, 34-17. The Carolina Panthers upset the Arizona Cardinals in overtime, 36-30.
I do love an overtime game.
Absolutely. We just had one today.
Free game.
Yep. The Los Angeles Rams defeated the New York Jets 19-9. The Washington Commanders defeated a kitten mitten led Philadelphia Eagles 36-33. The Cincinnati Bengals defeated their in-state rival, the Cleveland Browns 24-6. The Indianapolis Colts defeated their division rival, Tennessee Titans 38-30.
I've never been so happy for the Colts to win. I can't stand the Titans.
I don't blame you. The future home of Aaron Rodgers, the Minnesota Vikings, defeated the Seattle Seahawks 27-24. The Buffalo Bills defeated the New England Patriots in a cold, snowy, and ugly game, 24-21. The Las Vegas Raiders upset the Jacksonville Jaguars 19-14. The Miami Dolphins defeated the San Francisco 49ers 29-17. The Dallas Cowboys upset the Tampa Bay Buccaneers 26-24. And the Green Bay Packers delivered a shiny gold goose egg to the New Orleans Saints 34-0.
That was just completely unbelievable.
And
first shutout of the season.
Exactly. Yeah, that's how amazing it is. And for and to start week 17, we had our Christmas games. And of
Woohoo!
course, I is he here? Wait, he's not. I've heard him. I've heard him in a while. Where'd he go?
Oh, Lord.
No,
Wait.
he's in hibernation now because they're losing
Yeah.
everything.
We had
Yeah.
the Kansas City Chiefs defeat the Pittsburgh Steelers 29-10. Hey, you don't talk bad about the Pittsburgh Steelers. I don't care if they had that homo Patrick Mahomes.
They so
Yenzer,
do.
Yenzer, calm down, man. I know the refs are rigging the game, but no. I don't care. Steelers got the Super Bowl. I was taking a shit. Steelers got the Super Bowl. Too much information, Yenzer. Get out of here. Get out of here.
Things are less is more.
Yep.
Yeah, the Steelers surely did leave a big fat turd in the middle of the field.
And we had a Week 17 scoregami as the Baltimore Ravens delivered some hearty Houston level steak 31-2.
Wasn't a
That was
scoregami.
fantastic.
Oh, it wasn't
that
a
was
scoregami? Okay.
bad.
Nope, it occurred twice before.
Right. The Seattle Seahawks defeated the Chicago Bears. Are we sure this isn't the Seattle Mariners versus the Chicago White Sox? Because this score doesn't make sense.
It looks
6-3.
like a baseball score, really.
Exactly.
It was a baseball score. The Seattle Mariners beat the Chicago White Sox earlier this year by the same margin.
Yes, exactly.
So funny.
And earlier today, the San Diego Chargers flattened
Whew.
Drake May and the New England Patriots 40-7. Drake May is in concussion protocol.
Oh, man.
He entered the blue tent.
Oh no.
That is not good. And the Cincinnati Bengals defeated the Denver Broncos in overtime, 30-24. And currently, at the end of the first quarter, the Arizona Cardinals are facing off against the Los Angeles Rams with a tie score of nothing.
Yeah,
Nothing
no
to
points
nothing.
yet.
Yep. And before I do the ad read, let me do the bonus spin. And here we go. Respin. They're here. Come on. Hey, we have a winner. Keith, congratulations. You win a bonus point.
Yay.
All right. And of course, our week 16 recap was brought to you by W Energy. W Energy, of course, is proudly made in USA and is the first sponsor of the Social Sports Pad Network. Don't forget to try out the sampler pack, delivering 3 great flavors, including the Galaxy Grenade, Beach and Peach, and the Dragonade. And of course they have other flavors too. It is jeerless. And also tastes great. But don't just take my word for it. Why don't you give it a try? Use our affiliate link in the bio wherever you get your podcasts. Show the channel some love. W Energy. All right, guys. Week 17 is upon us, and we're getting closer to the end of not only the season but the end of bold predictions as we know it. Which of course will be brought to you by Bulletproof Coffee. The ad read will be after our bold predictions. And of course, as well, we would like to remind our listeners to please gamble responsibly. We are not responsible for your decisions. Okay, so We're going to start with Ben, Keith, Kat, Ryan, and myself. We're not going to have that many games, so we're not going to have any invasion points, unfortunately. We can have different opinions, but no invasion points. Well, actually, we are going to have invasion points. Good, we are. Sorry about that. And we are going to start with the New York Jets facing off against the Buffalo Bills. Buffalo is favored by 10. Ben, give me gold. Ben? Ben, you hear me? Audible. Keith.
Yeah.
Keith, can you hear me?
Who was the
Buffalo hosting the Jets.
Buffalo?
That's
Jets win their way, ain't gonna do anything.
Yep, that's an easy slam dunk. All right, Kat.
Yes.
I have Carolina Panthers facing off against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Tampa Bay is favored by 8.
By 8?
Yeah.
Oh. Oh. Yeah, I'll say yes and yes.
I object.
I'm going bold here. Okay, I'm going bold just for the record.
Yeah, I know, but I'm going bolder. I am going to say Carolina upsets the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in this game.
Oh my!
All right. Oh my! All right, Ryan.
Yep.
I have the Indianapolis Colts facing off against the New York Giants. Indianapolis is favored by 8.
I will take Indianapolis covering the spread. Even though we've got Joe Flacco starting, I'm hoping that Jonathan Taylor can just run. And did I forget to mention, Jonathan Taylor's going to run.
All right. Ben,
Flacco is not the worst quarterback in the world, okay? He really isn't.
No,
I love
he's
the
not,
man.
but unfortunately,
in
his age is catching up. That's what
in his 4 games for us this year so far, he's lost us 3 of them.
Ben, are you able to join us, or you're just sitting there with your thumb up your ass? That answers my question. Oops. Guess I hurt Fifi's. So
he just
Yep, he just yeeted. He just yeeted. So I have the Dallas Cowboys facing off against the Philadelphia Eagles. The Eagles are favored by 9. I am going to take Philadelphia, but they're not covering the spread. 3 words. Kenny Pittenmitz. Jalen Hurts is not the quarterback. He is out on concussion protocol, and they're going to have to start Kenny Pickett. Kitten Mittens looked terrible against Washington. Too many turnovers. So I cannot, in good conscience, trust Philadelphia Eagles to cover 9 points.
No.
All right, Keith.
I actually object.
Whoa, Keith is objecting to me.
Yeah, I'm actually a Philly fan, but I think Dallas is actually going to pull us out.
Whoa. Okay.
I think we went a little too far on the bold.
Wait a minute. Are we sure that drug test came in clean last week? We might need another one because we might have an invalid sample.
Okay. Maybe we should have had someone other than him test his own drug sample, do his own drug test.
Eggnog a little hard. That's all it is.
Possibly. All right. Speaking of Keith, I hate
that
to
came
do this
out
to
positive.
Keith. I hate to do this to you, but I got a tough one for you. Las Vegas versus New Orleans. New Orleans is only favored by a point.
Ooh.
Go to Las Vegas.
Any objections before we go?
I'm going to object. I'm going to say the Saints are going to win.
That is going New Orleans. All right. Speaking of Kat. Hi, Kat.
Hi.
You thought that was tough. Here's another tough one. The Tennessee Titans versus the Jacksonville Jaguars. The Jaguars are favored by 1. And welcome back, Ben. I'll get
Oh.
out. Ben.
Can you give this one to Ben?
Yeah, all right, I will. Ben, since you don't have one yet, Tennessee versus Jacksonville. Jacksonville favored by 1.
Tennessee versus Jacksonville.
Yep.
And they're at Jacksonville.
Yeah, I was about to ask. Is this in Jacksonville?
Yes. And this is a punishment.
Didn't we just have this game?
No.
No, we probably had it at Tennessee.
I feel like we just seen these two play
already. They were at Tennessee in December.
It's been shit.
This was a week 14 matchup, by the way.
This is really tough.
Yeah, all these are going to be week 18 matchups.
Well, no, Tennessee and Jacksonville played each other week 14. That's what I was saying.
Yeah, it was recently. I'm about to say, I was like, I recall this recently already. And I recall the Titans won, didn't they?
Yes.
No.
No. Yeah, they did, actually.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
No, these are week 17 matchups.
No, it says last meeting, Jacksonville Jaguars 10, Tennessee Titans 6, December 8th, 2024. So the Jaguars won while they were in Tennessee.
Okay. All right, correct. We stand correct. Thank you, Mom.
Yeah, thanks,
Don't
Mom.
argue with me.
All right, I'm going to go with Jacksonville.
Mom.
I'm going Jacksonville, even though this is tough, but I'm going to go Jacksonville.
All right.
Yeah.
This is a cover the spread. All right. Kat?
Yeah.
Miami versus Cleveland. Miami is favored by 6.5.
Also, Tua is not playing.
Is he bleeding from the ears again?
Is he ruled out or is he just doubtful?
He
was doubtful.
I think he was ruled out. Pretty sure. Didn't I post that earlier in the chat that he was ruled out? Somebody double check that.
Yeah, you did. You did.
But okay, so they're going to start Skylar Thompson.
No, Tyler Huntley.
Oh, Tyler Huntley. Okay. All right.
Pretty sure they ruled him out.
What'd you say the spread was?
6.5.
All depends on the size.
Okay. I'm gonna go Miami, but they don't cover the spread.
Okay. Any objections?
No, because I'm right.
And who are they going against again?
The Browns.
Cleveland.
Ben just wants to object to me.
No. I'm contemplating.
Wait, who is it?
Miami
at Cleveland.
Sorry.
And they're favored by almost a whole touchdown.
4, 3, 2, 1.
I'm not objecting.
All right. Objections closed. Okay. Ryan.
Yep.
We have the Minnesota Quarterback Factory versus the future home of Aaron Rodgers, aka the Green Bay Packers versus the Minnesota Vikings. Minnesota is favored by 1.5. Minnesota is favored by 1.5.
I'm gonna say we see a repeat of New Year's Eve last year, where Green Bay walks into Minnesota and takes down the Vikings.
Ooh, he's going with the upset. Green Bay upsetting Minnesota. Any objections? Only one who can object is Ben.
I was going to say, I can't object.
What was the game again?
It's
Packers,
Green Bay
Vikings.
versus Minnesota.
And
At
who did you pick?
Minnesota.
Ryan?
Ryan picked
Maybe-
Green Bay.
Green Bay did lose to them in September, though.
Yeah,
I
but they've
interjected.
split.
Minnesota's going to win.
They've
Right.
split with the Green Bay Packers have split with the Vikings for like 5 years in a row.
Yeah.
All right.
And they won at Minnesota last year and around this time of year.
Ben?
I'm going with
Ben?
Vikings.
Yeah, I got it. But this is last game before Monday Night Football. Atlanta versus Washington.
Ooh.
And Washington is favored by 4.
This is my turn?
Yes.
Oh, I'm going Washington completely.
All
I'll
right.
be right back. I'll make a phone call.
I'm going to object and I'll take the Falcons.
All right. Ryan
I
is.
think Michael Penix has something he wants to prove, and I think the Falcons are fighting for their playoff lives. While I don't even know why I thought the Commanders had clinched a spot already, but it's saying that they haven't. But
yeah,
I
they need to win. They need to
I
win.
haven't found a mathematical way, though, that even when they lose both of their last 2 games, I haven't found a way to get them out of the playoffs with the playoff predictor.
All righty then. We are on Monday Night Football. Traditional Monday Night Football rules apply. We are going to, of course, since we ended with Ben, we cannot start with me because I am always last. I am the host. So, once again, original order. Keith, Kat, Ryan, Ben, and myself. That's how we're doing it. Give me that bold for Detroit versus San Francisco, and Detroit is favored by 3.5. Keith, give me that bold.
I hate to say, but it's going to be San Francisco.
Wow. Okay. Someone sip the happy juice.
It's the eggnog.
Yep. It's the
Keith got
eggnog.
the company eggnog.
Yep. All right, Kat.
I'm going Detroit.
Detroit.
I think they're on a roll.
Ryan.
I'm going to take Detroit.
Yep. Ben. Unavailable. But I'll get back to him in a minute before we leave. I am going with Detroit. I want some kneecaps. Detroit's the hot hand. That's it. All right, one more spin before the ad read. No.
Be me, be me, be me.
Unfortunately, no. You want to guess, Kat?
You.
0 for 2. It's Ben.
Oh, jeez. He's not even here. That doesn't count. He's not here.
He's here. He's here, unfortunately. All right. So, and of course, today's bold predictions is brought to you by the bold flavors of Bulletproof Coffee. Hey, they made it back. You know, bold predictions was always sponsored by Bulletproof Coffee. You know, last year, but now they've been cycling into the rotation. But Bulletproof Coffee gets things started with the right fuel. Science-backed functional nutrition that helps you discover what better feels like. Don't just take my word for it. Why don't you give it a try? Use our affiliate link in the bio wherever you get your podcasts to not only show the channel some love, but also try out some great coffee. Try out some collagen supplement. Try out some greens. You know, they got protein bars. They got other things available from Bulletproof Coffee. Once again, use our affiliate link in the bio wherever you get your podcasts. Show the channel some love. Yes, Detroit versus San Francisco. Detroit favored by 3.5. Give me that. Oh, who you got?
Detroit, definitely.
All right. Okay.
Sorry, I was speaking.
All right. That's fine. That's fine. We that is fortunately it for our podcast, guys. This is the last podcast of the year, because the new year is upon us. And of course, we'd like to give a special shout out to our affiliates: Fanatics, Dr. Squatch, Duke Cannon Supply Company, Fubo TV, Century PC, Smack and Sunflower Seeds, Raw Nutrition, Fleece.com, W Energy, and Bulletproof Coffee. Of course, we have our other podcasts, The Lap Down, Biscuits and Penalties, and Dirt and Turf coming up after football season is over. So give those a listen when they're ready. And also, we would like to remind everyone that we are on YouTube. So if you are listening to us on Spotify or YouTube, give us a like, subscribe, and ring that bell to help you get up to date and help the YouTube algorithm and your friends find us.
And give us a rating on Spotify as well. There is an option to rate us and follow.
Yes, and on the other podcasts as well. And of course, I'm Cobra on behalf of Pat, Ben, Keith, and Ryan. We would like to wish you a happy new year. And what do we always say when it comes to playoff season? Don't get eliminated. That's right. We'll see you on the field next year. All right. Woo!